Happy Tuesday, y'all. Yes, we're in the kitchen, and I hope it's not too dark because, y'all, it is what? Noon, and the sun still hadn't come out. We're still in the 80s, but the sun is overcast, and it does not make for a nice day for cleanup, and that's what I've been doing all day, and the time kind of got away from me. So I was like, I got to get in this kitchen and I've got to share this recipe because it's got to set up. And why it's setting up, you and I are going out to the garden because I've got something very, very important to share that warrants all of us to be all hands on deck listening, because this was something Buddy and I just learned in the last 24 hours. But before we go out there and look at our discovery, that may not be a good thing. Let's get to this recipe. But this morning, or should I say noon, we're making a congealed salad. Spring salad, summer salad. And guys, if you're like me, everything I'm fixing to show you, the few ingredients, you keep on hand, because there's not one item in this recipe that I don't keep on hand at all times, because these are staples. Now, I can't take credit for this recipe. I sure can't, because it was early this morning. I always had that earpiece in. What is that little wireless, it goes in your ear. And I was listening to actually Porch Time, Mr. Danny Talk over at Deep South Homestead, and it rolled to some other stuff, and I just listen. And it also helps, the other creators to get watch time and so forth. But my phone's not always right there with me, because that little earpiece can reach a good distance. But my phone was actually on the garden table, because that's where I've actually started working. I've taken the janitor broom and started sweeping, and now I'm picking piles up from all the debris. I haven't ventured out too far to these big limbs. But anyway, there was a video that come up. And I don't know the lady's name. I'm wanting to say it was Mimi's Kitchen, Monday with Mimi. Mimi is in there. I've got a history. I'm going to see if I can't find through history. But anyhow, very new lady to me. But her voice intrigued me. I was cracking up because she told a little short story. So that led me to go sit down in the garden at the bench, and I was like, who is this? And I look at my phone. Oh my God, what a doll. But she was actually making this recipe. Now, I don't know when this video came out, but I'm assuming it's been recent, because she emphasized spring, or it could have been last year. I don't know. I'll have to look. But anyhow, I was like, what a doll she is. I've got all those ingredients. Some of you may not, but the ingredients she used in this salad, as she called it, congealed salad, I call it decadent dessert, is things that I keep in the house. So this warrants us to share this recipe, and I'm going to find out who this lady is, and I'm going to comment on her video, because like I said, it started off in the ear, because if this is as good as it looked, and it's so easy, well, yes, I'm going to have to thank the young lady. But, oh, what a doll she is. So, we're fixing to make, and I don't know what she called it. I know it's a congealed salad. So, I'll come up with something. But, guys, this is a spring, summer, easy. No cooking involved, but boiling some water. But it's easy. It's cheap, because I didn't have to run to the store to buy the ingredients. And I think it's going to be a big hit. Now, the recipe does have walnuts as a topping. I will omit those this time, because I'm going to be sharing this congealed salad with Buddy's co-workers. It's the first of the month, and I always try to do something for them. So it's going to be in a 9x13 with a cover on it. But I don't know if some have nut allergies, so I never send anything that has nuts. I guess I need to ask, but I just don't do the nuts for safety reasons for them. And I'll leave the recipe down in the description, because I think you guys ought to try it. And it's one of those we can mix and match. But the concept was like, well, why didn't you ever think of that, Lippy? Because I always think outside the box. But this one stumped me. And this one's got my curiosity. And when those two things happen together, you know, I got to put my twist on it and try it. Only right now, I am going to go buy this lady's recipe. I'm not going to, you know, drift off and put my twist on this time. But I'm thinking I can mix and match all of the 3 ingredients. Because it is only 3 ingredients for the first layer and 3 ingredients for the top. Plus the nuts, you know. I mean, it looks amazing. So I'm going to get a sip. I'm going to drop you because we got to get this congealing. And then I'm going to find out after we walk to the garden. I'm going to sit and try to find out if I can find her in my history. And I'll try and link that video so y'all can watch it. And tell her she don't know who Miss Lippy is. I was going to say, tell her Miss Lippy sent you. Yeah, don't do that. She don't know who the hell I am. In this 8-cup mixing bowl, I have 2 packages of grape jello. Now, you can use 1 large, but I buy the small ones most times because, you know, it's Mo's favorite jello. Is grape, then peach, and so forth. So I already had the grape, so there's 2 packages of grape jello sitting in here. We're going to add 2 cups of boiling water. I mean, I couldn't have got any perfect. There we go. All right, there's my 2 cups. Now we got to get this mixed very well. Let me throw this box away now that y'all saw it. But this is where, not this one, but this can here stumped me. Okay. After we get this all good and combined, she added 1 can, a 20-ounce can of crushed pineapple. 20-ounce can of crushed pineapple is what I have. Like I said, these are staples. So that's what really got me. Okay, in goes our pineapple. Don't drain it. And then she said, mix it well. I mean, guys, look how simple. And then she used 1 can of blueberry pie filling. Now, you could probably use blackberry, but this is what I was talking about. Mixing and matching the fruits and the pie filling and the jellos, it's endless to your palate. So we're going to go in with 1 can of blueberry pie filling. Make sure you get everything out of that can because you bought it. You want to get every drop. And then she mixed it very well. Okay, we've got it good and mixed. And now we're just going to pour it in a 9x13 dish. Look at that. You get all of this goodness out. Okay, now it's going in the ice box. I would say 2 to 3 hours. Because according to her, you want it well gelled. So I'm thinking 2 to 3 hours. Which would be great to do like the night before. Then put the topping on if it's something you want to serve at a barbecue or Sunday, you know, because as she put it, it's a great side. I didn't see it as a side. I saw it as a dessert. But, you know, side, dessert, it don't matter. This, to me, is going to be decadent. So, into the fridge. I'm going to clean up my... Oh, no. Hang on a minute. Let me tell you what I got to do next before we go to the garden. Okay, it's in the ice box. Now, I have to work on this. Look at this. This is leftover corn on the cob. Well, I don't want that to go to waste. We had this with our fried chicken when Miss Allison and Trevor came to visit the weekend. And I was like, today's Tuesday. I've got ground pork out. We're having tacos. You know, nothing to write home about, but we love tacos and Mr. Buddy's been asking. So I thought, okay, how about some fried corn to go with our tacos? I mean, if you like fried corn. And we like to take it and actually put it on our tacos, refried beans, the ground pork and seasoning, lettuce, tomato, cheese, you know, the whole works. And whatever I have left, I can freeze because I can add it to dishes or heat it up again for Tex-Mex type of, meal. So I'm just going to do a couple of them, and then I'll take y'all out to the garden. But it's very cold, and I'm just going to take it off the cob and put it into this bowl. Nothing can go to waste, guys. Now, I found using a serrated knife works great. And this corn was just boiled, that's all, with some butter and salt. And this will become fried corn. Just like that. Get it over into the bowl. Let's get another one. Ooh, look at that butter. Let's throw that in there. Matter of fact, what I'm probably gonna do is skim that, not the liquid, but skim that butter off before it melts. And that's just gonna really bring more flavor when we put this corn in a skillet. I've got my corn on the cob all cut off. Remember, it was sitting in here. I washed the bowl, and look at all them butter pieces. I made sure I got all of that butter out. And I'm gonna put it now back into the bowl that the corn on the cob was in, only it's clean, because I have a lid for it. And into the ice box till I am ready to cook it. But you see how it leaves the sides connected? You can leave that because it's all gonna break up, guys, when I fry it. Okay, I am set up out here in the garden. If y'all remember the other day that Buddy found 3 of these grape looking things, okay? And then he planted, I think 2 of them, broke them in 2 just to see. Well, guys, this is not a grape. It's not in the scuppernong family as it looked like. Now this one has shriveled up. Y'all remember in Sunday's video, they were larger than this, and they looked just like a scuppernong. And we said, we quote, "We don't have any scuppernongs to be picked right now." Okay, we have scuppernongs, but they're not ready. And he walked the woods. Well, our friend, and I'm sure y'all have seen him in the comments, Mr. T-Bear, he said, could it possibly be a mistletoe berry? And then he went on to explain that they had that in an oak tree. And I said, mistletoe? We don't have mistletoe in Louisiana. Well, guess what? We do. I also found out there's red mistletoe, pink mistletoe, and what they call white mistletoe. Now, the white mistletoe looks just like a scuppernong. So right now, I'm going to insert a picture of what a scuppernong looks like. And then when we come back from looking at that photo that I took, we'll discuss what I found out about this mistletoe. Very important stuff, guys. So now you see what a mistletoe looks like. White mistletoe. And that's exactly what these 3 berries look like. You know, like I said, this one's shriveling up. But when you don't know, you don't go sample. Well, this is highly, highly poisonous. Poisonous to humans. So my research actually showed that we do have mistletoe in my region. White mistletoe. And what really clicked in my head was the other day the wind was blowing, and in this oak tree that sits over the sugar shack, and we are steadily getting dead limbs off of it, mistletoe had fallen from that tree. And Buddy said, "This is mistletoe." I said, "Well, it looks like mistletoe, but we don't have mistletoe." He said, "Well, by God," he's looking at the tree, "it sure looks like mistletoe." So then when Mr. T-Bear said that, then I reflected back to this conversation we had just a few days ago, and I did my research. Well, not only is it mistletoe, it also educated me because we have a slew of flying squirrels that our garden cat, Miss Lou, keeps bringing to us alive. And we were like, where are the flying squirrels at? Well, with my research, now I knew mistletoe was like a fungus, but in my research, it showed that the bird droppings, the feces, carry these seeds. Then you have the mistletoe. The mistletoe actually rottens the tree, which is inviting to flying squirrels, various birds that actually live within the cavity of the tree. And I was like, holy cow, because we actually have 4 oak trees and this one that we were looking up, and there is mistletoe in it, the one that I showed y'all the other day. Let me show you now. You see that tree right there? Well, that tree's got to come down. We know this, and we're working towards getting it down because it is rotted in the cavity. But what we paid attention to, there was mistletoe around there. So now we have a better understanding of what has happened to these trees, because remember that none of this property was maintained, guys. We have started from the inside of the house, moving out. We're basically rebuilding this property. But these beautiful oak trees are decaying. And they're decaying because every one of them is engulfed in mistletoe. And it happens to be in the larger crease of the branches to the main shaft. And that's why we have these unusual birds here. We have flying squirrels because they live within the cavity of the tree. And the mistletoe rots the tree from inside out. So now we know what we have to address. How to get the mistletoe out, I don't know. But I do know that 2 trees definitely, this one and the one that we knew the flying squirrels was coming from, but we didn't realize what was creating it till the mistletoe from the wind was falling out. We're going to lose definitely those 2. Don't know exactly how we're going to treat the other 2. We've got to do some research. But what makes this so important, that Buddy is very knowledgeable in trees and so forth in nature. Way more than I am. And I'm considered knowledgeable, yes, within reason, but not Buddy's knowledge. Buddy has just always been fascinated with trees and fruit trees and propagating trees and all of that. That's just what he's fascinated with. But you see, he made a good statement. He said, if I didn't know no better, this is a scuppernong. And that concerned us because the first thing when we confirmed what our issue was, oh my gosh, our grandkids, especially Mo. So when Mo comes, we're going to have to keep reminding him. We're going to have to sit down and talk to him. If you find a berry on the ground that looks like your golden berries, and that's what he calls them because he can't say the word scuppernong, which scuppernongs, by the way, are in the muscadine family. And we have those 2, they're red. But what we're going to tell him, if you can't pluck it off of those vines, you do not eat it. If you see it on the ground, you're not allowed to eat it. It has to be plucked from the vine. Now, we don't let him just run amok, and he's pretty good about not just grabbing unless we're out here. So that's why I said this was so important to share, because some of you may think about looking in your trees, depending on the region you're at. And if you happen to find scuppernong-looking grapes or a white-looking grape, and you may be growing them, don't just assume, well, that was one of my scuppernongs or that was one of my grapes, because it could very well be a mistletoe seed. And birds eat these and they carry them. Now, how they ended up in my garden is because there was actually a piece of mistletoe that had fallen, but we did not know. So this was new knowledge. But my alarm bell went off when it come to the grandkids. And like I said, Mo being the youngest, we're really going to have to emphasize, do not take a piece of fruit, period, from the ground. It has to come off the vine, and if it's not on the black cover, then you do not pick it. So moving forward, It's all about lessons. And he's 6. He does listen well. He minds well. So this is what we're going to stress. I think they're coming this weekend. I'm not real sure. It's going to be pretty hairy with some thunderstorms. Maybe severe, but they're saying high winds. So, you know, hopefully not. But yeah, this is actually a mistletoe berry. Who knew? So this whole container right here, dirt and all, is going in the trash. That's why I've got it sitting here. It's going to go in a bag into the trash. I'm not even going to save the soil, pluck it out, because it is highly toxic to humans. So yeah, that's what we had the other day. So I want to thank you, Mr. T-Bear, for bringing it to our attention, because he said they had went through the same thing and was scratching their heads. So, you know, that's just what's so wonderful about the community, or social media in general. There's so much education that we can learn from each other. And for him to share that little bit of knowledge, I mean, I can't thank him enough, because we would have never known. Never known. And maybe you guys don't know, and you know, you just learned something too. And I hope that that's what this did, is it helped us all educate just a little bit more. Only this could have cost a child right here severe sickness, because they said highly, that was the words that the Ag Center used, highly toxic. It is poisonous to humans. Yeah, my heart sank when I was reading that. So yeah, that's what's going on. Now I've got to get to cleaning up. Y'all, it's going to take us a week, a solid week, to clean this mess up. And it's not the little twigs, it's the big stuff. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I will meet y'all back in the kitchen. And yeah, I've already got a war wound from a limb, because I was trying to tote a bunch and it got sideways, and I'm talking about just gashed me. And I was doing good. I ended up with this one and this one. And look at my arms, because I've been wearing those sleeves and I didn't have my sleeves on. I don't think that the sleeves would have stopped that, because it really got out of hand, because it just said whoop. But yeah, I'm going to do some work, couple hours. We'll go back to the kitchen, finish our congealed salad, and depending on the time of the video, we may go ahead and fry the corn too. I just don't want to cook it too soon, because I want it to be fresh for when we have our tacos tonight. But it all depends on the timing, you know, for the video. So I'm going to drink my coffee. I got to go to work. I'll see y'all in a couple hours. I'm getting my skillet heated up. And before we put the topping on our congealed salad, I want to go ahead and get my corn fried. I've already got my meat done for the tacos, the cheese grated, the lettuce is grated. I'm in business. Now it's time to work on this corn. Now you don't have to use this for like taco night, but anything you can think of fried corn, guys, don't throw them ears of corn away. Don't even reheat them. Fry that corn up, and then you can tweak any flavor you want. I actually considered putting some green chilies in here, but I said, no, I'm going to leave it kind of like it is, and that way it can be versatile, because I got quite a bit. So let's fry this corn. I'm sitting on about a number 6. Ooh, I hear that sizzle. Get all of this out, because I've got little pieces of butter throughout. I'm going to start getting some heat on here before we start breaking those pieces of corn up. Oh, we're sizzling now. Well, guys, I did change my mind. I am going to put a little can of green chilies. Yes, indeed. I'm going to add a little bit of cumin, because what I see coming this week is maybe for a snack, some nachos. But you got to love corn in order to bring it into other dishes. And we happen to love it in our Tex-Mex dishes. Let me get all of them green chilies out of here. the natural sugar coming from that corn. You see how it's wanting to kind of get into the bottom. Now, if I was just going to what we call milk it or make a mock shoe, which is with bell pepper and onions, I would add a little bit of heavy cream and let it cook down in the oven, kind of like a cream style corn. But I won't be doing that on this recipe. I'm just trying to get a little bit of Tex-Mex flavor going on. Let's just give a couple of little shakes. Now this is black pepper and white pepper that I do mix. I'm going to add in a little bit of salt. Remember, season to taste. And I'm going to call that good. Before we get our topping mixed up, there's my corn. Y'all, it smells so good, I've got to sample it. I think it cooled off enough because I've got my skillet over here. I just got through cleaning it, heating it up, ready to be hung back on the wall. Here we go. Boy, it's smoking still. It's rude to talk with your mouth full. Y'all, it's subtle. The green chilies, the cumin, but that residual butter, it is out of this world. You know, I could actually cool this down after we eat tonight. I'm going to take the leftovers, and I think I'm going to make a corn dip. I've already got my green chilies. I've got some cumin. I'll add a little bit more. I've got plenty of cheese because I just grated a block, and we won't use but a little bit. Plenty of sour cream. I think I'm going to make a corn dip. And then that gives us our dip for the week. We always like to make a dip for the week, and we snack, and I do. And when he comes in, yeah, even after supper, we'll be working, and he'll want a snack. Yep. There's the base for my corn dip. There's just so many things you can do with this. One more bite. We got to get to blending. What I have in this bowl is an 8-ounce block of very softened cream cheese and a half a cup of sugar, granulated sugar. 8 ounces of sour cream, and I have a tube of sour cream, but I had bought this sour cream last week. And I don't remember what I was going to fix for Allison and Trevor, but I didn't. I don't remember what it was. But anyhow, I had this 8 ounces of sour cream, and that's exactly what the lady called for. So all we're going to do is get this well and combined, and we're going to add some vanilla extract. Okay, I've got it mixed halfway. And that's what I noticed, I believe she did. I don't remember how much vanilla extract, but I'd say a capful, so 1 teaspoon. Now you want to mix it till it's almost fluffy. Perfect. Look at this, guys. Okay, now it's all about the frosting. And I'm going to just kind of dollop it across. So hopefully it'll smooth out. Okay. Now I'm just going to kind of lightly start pushing it, because I don't want to tear our gelatin. That out of the way. I'm putting it to where you can see. Start pushing it towards the edges, just like if you was icing. And you do want an even layer. But I've always found by kind of pushing it to the edges, I can smooth the center out easier. Okay. Now, let me pull the center. That's just how I do it. It just seems to work better. Perfect. Oh my God. Y'all, it's 3:15. I'm just gonna kind of set this down, clean up the side of my baking dish. I'm gonna have that as my treat. Don't tell nobody. I am not letting that go to waste. So I'm gonna clean the sides up, put it back in the ice box. I'm gonna let it chill 30 minutes, and then we're gonna slice it, a small slice, because I am dying to taste this. And I know that you're dying to see how good it is. Because you know you can trust me. But guys, just that topping. Holy cow. I think I like licking the bowl with this. This is when you would sprinkle walnuts. She actually said pecans would get too soft. So this is when you would sprinkle walnuts. But remember, I'm leaving the nuts off. Can y'all see that? I only let it go 20 minutes. I don't want to spoil my appetite. And it's 10 minutes to 4 and we eat at, what, 6? So, let me hold it up so y'all can see. It needs to sit, oops, see, it needs to sit a little bit longer. Like, by tomorrow, it's going to be really set up. But my gosh. I'm not sure how that grape jello took on the blueberry. Y'all, this is crazy good. Strawberries. Strawberry jello, strawberry pie filling. Peach jello, peach pie filling. But you know what I do? Well, she did the pineapple. The pineapple would go good. Oh, yeah. Oh. Pineapple would go really good with the peaches. I bet it would go good with the strawberries. Blackberries. But I am digging this blueberry. Okay. When she said salad, I could see where you could get the salad. But I call this a spring summer dessert. I mean, you could make it a side, but this is dessert to me. And it's not too sweet. It's really not too sweet. And there's little bits of blueberry through here. I'll tell you something else. Doggone it. My muscadine, not muscadine, my mulberry jam that I just made last week with y'all, I would exchange that for the blueberries. Think about it. I mean, it's got little pieces somewhat, not much because I strained it really good. But you could take your homemade jam, exchange it for the pie filling. Because then you're not even buying pie filling. This is a winner. Guys, I just had this for a lunch. I'm not lying. I could sit here and just eat it all right here on camera. This is one to make. I'm going to try to find that lady. But I am going to write the recipe in the description. But I'm also going to link her video. Because I know it's in my history. My curiosity is sparked with her. Like I said, she's a doll. She is a doll. So as always, stay safe, stay well, and God bless. And make you this congealed spring summer salad. I'm going to come up with a different name. Like blueberry heaven. Because that's exactly what it is. And that topping is just like a pillow of goodness. I'm telling you, that topping is out of this world. I would not add more than a half a cup of sugar. Half a cup is perfect. So I will see you on the next one. And don't forget about the mistletoe.